Hello. In the last episode, I talked about some basic data types. Okay, the data types I talked about in the last episodes, they are not the only data types in PHP, but they are the only key data types, unless otherwise. But in this episode, I want to talk about something, the functions of integers and strings. In the last episode, I did not finish with the key data types. I forgot to talk about the Boolean. So when you're dealing with Boolean can either be true or false. Let's say we have our system, and then in that system, when a user types in a username and the password, if both the username and the password matches from the database, and then it should return something like true. Otherwise, if either the username and the password is incorrect, and then it should return false. Okay, so the boolean can either be true or false. So when you're dealing with boolean, you need to echo them to either true or false without adding them in double quotes. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to declare a variable called am I a am I a man, am I a male, is equals to, so here I'm going to say true, just like this. Variable is equals to true, and then here I'm going to say am I a fool, is equals to false, just like that. So if I try to refresh, let me go back. So if I try to refresh, as you can see, we see no errors. But if we try to write anything like this, let's say bra, and then you say is equals to man, it should return some errors, because we have this kind of data type doesn't exist in PHP. So this is the case. Unlike the boolean, here we use them without adding the double quotes. Once you add the double quotes, then you change to strings, of which it is incorrect. So in this episode, I want to talk about some functions of strings and integers. So I'm done with boolean. Let's hope you have all understood. If you have any questions, you can just comment, and I'll post all of this in the link in description. So PHP. Okay, so the integer and string functions that I'm going to talk about, there are some functions that we'll be using in the future episodes. So I don't want you people to be confused, to say why is he using all of this, because he did not teach any. So but don't worry, I'm going to teach you. So here I'm going to start with str replace. We use str replace if you want to replace words, sorry, not words, but a word with another word. Let's say we have inserted some post into our database, and on that post there are some abuse words that people use when they are trying to abuse your website. So let's say we have some of those, and then once our PHP code detects that, oh, this person is using some abuseful words, and then it should replace that abuseful word, or maybe when it detects that, it should not proceed to the next step to say you are using the abuseful word. When we add some conditional statements, I'm sure I'm going to add all of that in the test project. So I'm going to say word count. Let me word count. So when you're dealing with word count, let's say we are okay. So here, let's say someone is lying to say my team name is equals to Google. So now we should with me, I have created the system. When someone comments with that, like all I can say is that, let's say a client wants to ask about my team name. So let's say that client asks, and then when someone comments, this company name is Google, So when it finds that there's Google, it should replace that Google with levels, of which it will be okay. So here let's say my team name. Okay, so here this one will be team is equals to my team is Google. My team is Google. So here replace, I'm going to call it replace is equals to with levels, and then I'm going to call, okay, so here I'm going to say original name is going to be str underscore word underscore count. So here, sorry, not underscore, so here I'm going to say str replace. So I'm going to call this str replace. So here it's going, so this, the first parameter will be what we are searching for. So here we are searching for Google, and then we replace it with replace variable, which is equal to with levels from team. Once again, we are searching for Google, we replace it with levels and from team variable, which is my team is Google, and then let me echo it. We'll find that where there is Google, it will show with levels. So here I'm going to say original. So I'm going to echo original. So this should be the data to show on the client side. Okay, so sorry, strings, I have in string here. So my team is with levels instead of Google, but if I echo team, it will show Google, which is incorrect. So in my team is Google, but we don't want that. We want it to show original name, which is with levels. Okay, okay. So the next function is word count. We use word count if you want to count the number of words in our string. So let's say we want each and every paragraph to be having, let's say we want each and every paragraph to be having only 10 words, but when someone exceeds that, it should be given out an error to say you have exceeded the maximum number of words. So here let's say word count. So here I'm going to say count. I'm going to be counting from team. So count is equals to team. Why? Because this count is equals to team, and team is a string. So count is I know you people sometimes maybe some are confused. Let me just use this. Let me just do it like this. Okay, so there's no difference between doing this and doing this. Our count is equals to team. Let me just use team. So here count is equals to str, which is string word count. I'm going to count from team. So we have 1 2 3 4, we have 4 words, and should return that, I'm sure. So sorry, I've not added any echo. So here let me also echo count echo count. Here we are. So it's 4, yeah, which is okay. So let me also talk about integers. So with the integers, I'm going to take only the max value. So I'm going to take only the random function. When you're dealing with integers, it just generates the random numbers, of which those random numbers will be using them to send the verification codes. Okay, so here let me comment out integers, random numbers with rand. So here it is not a big issue. All you have to do is, so I'm going to declare a variable called random numbers is equals to rand, and then like this, if I echo random numbers, okay, so here random numbers equals to rand. Okay, so here as you can see, whenever I refresh this page, these numbers should be changing. So here if I refresh, we get some other numbers. If I refresh, refresh. So that's all for this tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe, share this channel to some people you think can learn from us, and don't forget to subscribe and invite your family and friends. Thank you, people. Cheers.